Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I am filming another one of like my favorite products from the drugstore videos. Like I did like my favorite eye makeup from the drugstore, my favorite cheek products from the drugstore, and today I'm filming my favorite face products from the drugstore. Like what my favorite powders, foundations, concealers, primers, any type of thing like that for your face that's makeup, I am going to be talking about today. So I guess first off, I will start off with primers, since that is the first thing that you use on your face whenever you're doing like a makeup look after you use like your lotion. So my two favorite primers from the drugstore, I love the Maybelline Baby Skin and the L'Oreal Magic Lumi Primer. And I like both of these primers for different reasons. With the Maybelline Baby Skin, I'm sorry, I'm gonna have to shut that door. I feel like you can hear people talking in the other rooms. Okay, sorry about that. With the Maybelline Baby Skin, this primer does a really good job of helping to blur out your pores, and it also does a good job of helping your foundation last a little longer. I have tried a lot of other primers from the drugstore. Like I've tried the L'Oreal Miracle Blur, the Pore Vanisher. I think those have been like the only two. I thought I saw a spider. Oh my gosh. I posted a video several videos back on a gigantic spider that I found in my room. Oh my god, it was so scary. I had to share it with you guys because I was so terrified whenever I found that in my room, and I still can't believe that I found that in here. So now I'm so paranoid, and if I see anything out of the corner of my eye that I think is a spider, I feel like I'm about to flip out. So hopefully that does not happen. That would be so hilarious on camera if it did though. But yeah, I've tried other primers at the drugstore and I just do not like them as much as this one. This one is just amazing to me. And I know other people love those other ones that I mentioned, and some people like them better than this, but I have to say I like this way better. Then with the L'Oreal Magic Lumi Primer, this is a great drugstore primer if you want your foundations to look more luminous. If you have a foundation that's more matte or semi-matte and you want it to look more dewy, I do highly recommend this product. And if you've never seen it before, it just is like a white, almost like lotion type of stuff. And then whenever you go to blend it into the skin, I'm sorry, I have some swatches on my arm. It is just really like luminous and just really glowy. I've heard that this is a dupe for MAC Strobe Cream, and I've actually never used MAC Strobe Cream, so I don't know, but from like what I've seen with MAC Strobe Cream, it does seem really similar to this. Ugh, I'm so tongue-tied right now. Moving right along, well, I guess I'll talk about this. This is kind of something that you would use at the end of your makeup. It's the e.l.f. Makeup Mist and Set, and this is, well, it also has aloe, green tea, cucumber, and vitamins A, C, and E in this. This is a really good product to spray on your makeup at the very end to give it like a really dewy look. So like if you put a powder on, it looks too powdery, you can just spray this on your face at the end and it'll just help your foundation look a little more natural. Okay, so with foundations, I had to narrow it down because I have a lot of favorite drugstore foundations. And I didn't want to be doing this video like for 2 hours. Well, it wouldn't have been that long, but you know what I'm saying. I didn't want to make this video too long. My all-time favorite drugstore foundation I currently don't have because I just ran out of it like a week or so ago. It's the Revlon ColorStay. That foundation is my all-time favorite. It's such a long-wearing, full coverage, but at the same time natural. I wouldn't say natural, but it doesn't look cakey on the skin. So yeah, I do highly recommend that foundation. All-time favorite, like I said. My next favorite foundation from the drugstore is this Ready Set Gorgeous foundation from CoverAll. And I did a first impressions on this. I will link it down below if you're interested. If I've done any type of first impression video or anything like that on any of these products, I will link them down in the description bar in case you want more information about the product or if you just want to watch it or whatever. But this Ready Set Gorgeous foundation, I absolutely love it. I'm wearing it today. It is so easy to work with and blend out with a foundation brush. Like, it just goes on so fast and easy. And once it sets up on your skin, it just gives a really nice finish. Like, it's not completely matte, but it's not dewy. It's like a good medium coverage semi-matte foundation. And it lasts for a really long time on your skin. So I just love the look of this. I love how easy it is to apply, so I highly recommend this one. And a close runner-up to this foundation is the Wet n Wild CoverAll Cream foundation. And this foundation is actually really similar to this one. The Wet n Wild CoverAll Cream is slightly more dewy. It does apply the same way, and the coverage is pretty much the same. So if you like the Ready Set Gorgeous but you need a foundation that's slightly more dewy, I do recommend this one. And this one's also really long wearing as well. And this one is very affordable. I want to say it's like $3 or $4, so you cannot beat that. Then one of my other all-time favorite foundations from the drugstore is this L'Oreal True Match Gentle Mineral Makeup. And I have done so many videos about this foundation. It's one of my holy grail drugstore foundations. This thing is just great for beginners. It is so fast, easy to use in the mornings, like with a kabuki brush. Like, I just use my e.l.f. kabuki brush to apply this in the mornings whenever I'm getting ready. And it just gives a really natural look. Like, if you don't want a really heavy foundation look, you can just apply a little bit of it. If you want more of a medium or full coverage, you can apply more. And if you're afraid with it looking powdery, if you spray like this e.l.f. setting spray on top, it really just helps this foundation to look even more natural. So yeah, I do highly recommend this. I don't like the packaging on this, but I do like the product inside. And the color that I wear is Soft Ivory in 1-2. My last favorite foundation from the drugstore, and the lid looks super gross, is the L'Oreal True Match Lumi foundation. And this is a really good luminous, like, dewy foundation from the drugstore. It's really long wearing even though it's dewy, and it's very easy to apply. And it is my favorite dewy foundation from the drugstore. And the color that I have is Porcelain, which is W1-2. Like, this foundation just seems really high-end because it comes in a glass bottle and it has a pump. Most drugstore foundations are just kind of like cheap packaging like this, like plastic, or they don't come with a pump, they're not glass. So yeah, I do really like the packaging on this as well. The next things that I'm going to talk about are concealers, and I also had to kind of narrow this down too because I have a lot of favorite drugstore concealers as well. So I just narrowed it down to like my top 5 favorite ones. But my favorite, all-time favorite concealer from the drugstore is my Maybelline FIT Me concealer. I rave and rave about this stuff. It is just a really good coverage. I like the applicator, how it's like doe foot applicator. And like I said, it just has a really good coverage and it doesn't cake up on me. So yeah, I really like this. The shade that I have is in Fair. Then one of my other like all-time favorite concealers from the drugstore is this Garnier Skin Renew Anti-Dark Circle Roller. And this is in the color Light. This is more lightweight than the Fit Me concealer, but I don't know, even though it's more liquidy and more lightweight, it just does a really good job of like brightening up my under eye area and just canceling out the dark circles. I really like the little ball on it. Like, it just feels really cooling when you put it on in the mornings. So yeah, I do really enjoy that one. Then my next favorite concealer from the drugstore is the Maybelline Instant Age Rewind Eraser Dark Circles. This is in the brightener one, and this is one of those salmon type concealers. So if I do want something that is very, very brightening, I do like to use this because of the pink. It does really brighten up the under eye area. It's very reflective. I do like the sponge little applicator on it, and it is a decent coverage. Like, it's not as full coverage as my Fit Me concealer, but it is a really good coverage. I don't find that it cakes up on me. So if you're looking for a good like salmon tone concealer from the drugstore, this is a really, really good one. And my last 2 favorite concealers from the drugstore is the e.l.f. HD High Definition Under Eye Photo, no, I'm sorry, I'm getting it confused. Is my NYX HD Photogenic Concealer. And this concealer is very, very, very brightening because it is very light. The color that I have is what color is this? Is in Fair. But it is like the lightest concealer that I own. So it is very, very brightening. So I don't use this a whole lot. But I do like the coverage on it. The coverage is very similar to like my Maybelline FIT Me concealer. And as you can see there, like it has a very good coverage. Like just to kind of compare the two coverages of the Maybelline FIT Me and this NYX HD to kind of show you. So the FIT Me one is this one right here. Like the coverage on it is very similar to that Photogenic one, the NYX one. This color just is better for me than this. This is just very, very brightening. So if you want a very brightening full coverage concealer, I do recommend this. The last one that I'm going to talk about is the e.l.f. Under Eye Concealer and Highlighter. And this one is actually really sheer, but at the same time, it does a good job of concealing under eye circles. So on the days when I don't have very dark under eye circles, or if I'm not wanting to wear a lot of makeup, I like this one because, like I said, it is more sheer than my other concealers. I don't know, there's just something about it I really like. And I'm going to see if I can swatch it. I'll swatch it up here. And it is kind of brightening too because it is lighter. But see, like when you go to blend it out, it's just a little more sheer than the other ones. So that's why I like that on days when I'm not wearing a whole lot of makeup. And then with the highlight shade, I do actually like to use this under my brow bone sometimes for like a brow bone highlight. It is actually really pretty. So yeah, it's just kind of like a reflective kind of white color. It's right there. And then the last products that I'm going to talk about that are my favorite face products from the drugstore are powders. And I have two favorite powders from the drugstore. This first one is my L'Oreal True Match Super Blendable Powder in the color Soft Ivory. This is like my holy grail face setting powder. It adds a little bit of coverage, but it just does a good job of like setting your foundations, not taking away from if your foundation is dewy. Like when I use it with the L'Oreal True Match Lumi foundation, it doesn't take away the dewiness of the foundation. Like it allows whatever type of foundation it is, like if it's matte, semi-matte, or dewy, to shine through. But at the same time, it just helps to set the foundations and keep them there all day long. And it is really finely milled, so it doesn't show up powdery on your face. It just kind of blurs out your pores a little bit. I just love this powder. It is, like I said, my holy grail face powder. And then another good cheap face powder from the drugstore is the Rimmel Stay Matte powder. So if your skin has a problem with getting really shiny throughout the day, this is a really good one. And it's not too powdery and it's not too cakey if you use a light hand with it. So yeah, this is also a really good face powder from the drugstore. And then my last favorite thing from the drugstore is this e.l.f. High Definition Under Eye Setting Powder. And I use this stuff every single day, and I seriously could not live without this stuff. This is just a product that you put on your concealer, like your under eye concealer, and it just helps to set the concealer. It's just a really like finely milled powder. And it does have tiny like sparkles in it, but when you put it on your under eye area, you don't see them at all. It just does a good job of brightening and setting the under eye concealer. So I do highly recommend this stuff, and like I said, I could not live without it. Those were all of my favorite face products from the drugstore. So if you would, down in the comments, let me know like what your favorite face products are from the drugstore, if it's something that I didn't mention, or if you also love some of these products that I mentioned. I would love to know what your thoughts are, or if you have any good product recommendations for me. And if you did enjoy this video, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up. And if you would like to see more videos from me, don't forget to subscribe to my channel, and I will see you all in my next video. Bye-bye, guys. Mwah.